All right. And don't worry. I forgot to add that one. That's another thing. Don't be worrying. Let me tell you something. I don't give a shit how good you eat. I don't give a fuck how much you exercise. If you still sitting around worrying about shit every day, if you still worrying about shit every day, that'll take you out too. That'll end you quicker than all of that other stuff, okay? Stop worrying about stuff. Stop worrying about people you owe money to. If you can't pay something, if you know that you owe something and you can't pay it, put that shit out your mind. You can't be worried. Don't worry about it, homie. I don't give a shit. Hey, man, listen. Whew. Hey, you better know like I know. If you can't pay it, don't worry about it. If you can pay it, you pay it. If you can't pay it, don't worry about it. Don't be sitting there letting no shit drive you crazy, man. Don't be stressing yourself out. Don't let no people stress you out either, okay? If you got somebody in your life and they ain't loving you right and they ain't giving you the right attention, if they ain't treating you how you supposed to be treating, don't worry about them. Start loving yourself. Start loving yourself. Look how to make connections with people and find that love in different ways, okay? Don't let folks stress you out, gang. All right, finale class, finale. Third Pyramid War. It's about to get ugly. All right. So, you know, like I told y'all, we tend to think that these nuclear conflicts is something that's new to this modern era of living. But these nuclear conflicts are not new. Okay. That was a nuclear war before this time. Okay. And people not ready to accept that. Okay. You got to be a real deep researcher to know about this. There was a nuclear war that took place on this planet about about 4,500 years ago. Somewhere between 4,500 and 5,000 years ago. Okay. The evidence from this can be found in Mohenjo-Daro in the Indus Valley civilization. Honestly, you can see it all over the third region, but you wouldn't, the first region, but you wouldn't know what to look for. But in the Indus Valley civilization, we have this site called Mohenjo-Daro, the city of Mohenjo-Daro. If you look it up, you can Google it. Google Mohen, Mohenjadaro, Mohenjo-Daro. If you look up this site, then you'll see that this is the epicenter. This is the fallout of a nuclear blast that took place 5,000 years ago. And these skeletal remains you see are crystallized, fused bodies. These bodies have been fused together, crystallized, made into what's called trinite. Okay, so anytime you have a nuclear explosion, it heats up the sand in the ground so much that all of the sand turns to glass. Okay, and so what it did is it not only vaporized these people, but it crystallized them. It fused them into glass, crystalline type structures. And some of these people holding hands in the streets. Look at this man over here, this woman over here. These people look like they holding hands. So, yeah, that's what this picture is of. This is the nuclear fallout of this third pyramid war that we about to talk about. Okay? Because the history of humanity is a motherfucker. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, you do not know the true history of humanity. All right? People, every time I say something that doesn't align with the theory that society has given people be like, oh, that's pseudo. Here you come with that pseudo shit. Hey, man, just say you ain't in the know. Just like you ain't got to downplay me because you ain't in the know. Right? I don't know why these people be out here acting like we all on the same level. We got to stop doing that in humanity. Okay? We're not on the same level. There are people in here that are better than me at a lot of things. There are things that I am better than other people. That's the nature of life. You're not going to be the best in every setting. Okay? I guarantee you ain't going to find nobody better than me in this setting when it comes to this shit. Because see, listen, let me tell y'all something. Y'all done got a taste of what the world about to get. Y'all done got a taste of what the world is about to get. Y'all know me. Y'all see me every day. I'm not talking about you people who coming in here for the first time. I'm talking to my class. I'm talking about the people who with me every day for the last 2 years. Okay? Y'all done got a taste of what the world is finna get. Okay? So when I say I'm the best at what I do, they about to see that. Nobody's connected these dots the way I connected. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. I've been out in these streets forever. But nobody, all of this shit that I put together is nothing I never could get from anybody else. It's all came from my notes, from me connecting these dots using the historical evidence that was already present. Okay? So like I say, man, things finna get real interesting. We are not all on the same level. Some of us study harder. Some of us study longer. Some of us are more invested in the hidden history of humanity than others. Okay? So with that being said, we finna get this show underway, man. We finna get it underway. All right? Today, guys, the Anunnaki are about to have the war of wars. Right? So the last time we was together, Nergal and the Nurta was sent by Enlil to awaken the nukes. Y'all remember that? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that. Enlil sent Nergal and the Nurta to awaken the nukes. Okay. Enlil told the Nurta, hold on, son, you stay back. Enlil say, listen, I need you to go find Abraham. I need you to make sure that you have all of Abraham and his tribe removed from the area before we bomb the spaceport. Right? Because Enlil mindset is, I would rather blow up the fourth region than to let Marduk take it over. Okay? So y'all remember the fourth region is Tilmoon. That's the Great Divider. That's the Sinai Peninsula. The Sinai Peninsula is where they got all their big rocket ships, all their spaceships and rocket ships is in the Sinai Peninsula. So Enlil says, I would rather blow that to smithereens than to let it fall into the hands of Marduk. So this is what the plan is. The plan is, hey, we finna nuke it. All right. So he sends Ninurta to tell Abraham and all of his followers to leave these cities. All right. And some of these cities are some of the biblical cities that we know about, like Sodom and Gomorrah. These two cities that you know off top. Right. I don't even have to talk about the other cities. You know those two off top. Okay. Now, those two cities used to be under Elamite control, but Marduk and the Enkites ended up taking over, right, and establishing Canaan in that area. So that area had fell under Marduk's control, Amun-Ra, under Enkite control, all right? So now Enlil says, hey, man, we got to get our shit back, right? But better than that, Enlil says, hey, you know what? They done already turned their back on me. They done already switched sides, okay? Because he sent Abraham and Lot to go spy on Sodom and Gomorrah. And Abraham and Lot came back and reported that Sodom and Gomorrah had sided with Marduk, that they had sided with Amun-Ra, okay? So Enlil say, okay, that's how they go. Oh, I'm going to put cases on all these niggas. Pelican Bay, shoe program. Enlil say, King Kong ain't got shit on me, right? So Enlil say, it's done, it's up, right? So that's that, like I told y'all yesterday, the Sodom and Gomorrah story ain't the one you got from church, okay? I'm sorry, guys. I know y'all want to believe all that shit that church done taught you. You know, my hardest job is to go out here and tell y'all that they taught y'all the wrong way, that they misinterpreted the information. They have no clue. Sodom and Gomorrah was not destroyed because of fruity behavior. Okay? No, it was destroyed because they turned their backs on Enlil for Marduk. Okay? And once they did that, Enlil said they got to go. So he bombed it. And, in Sodom, Lot lived in Sodom, okay? And so his wife loved the city of Sodom, right? All her favorite shops. She be at Forever 21, she be at Target, she be all her little favorite boutiques, Marshalls, all them little spots she be going to. Lot wife ain't want to give up on Sodom, man. That's her city, man. You know what I'm saying? So when Lot, you know what I'm saying? When Lot said, hey, we got to go, baby. It's time to move. We got to move. Shit finna hit the fan. She was like, I ain't leaving. My sister's here. My friend's here. You think I'm going to just pack up and leave? Lot was like, see, bitch, you don't listen. Abraham walked in there and he was like, nephew, come on, cuz. No, this bitch don't listen, man. Abraham said, no, just, hey, leave her, dog. Just come on. You come on, nephew. So Lot had to leave her. And then the bombs hit. Boom, 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 boom. And she was gone. Pillar of stone. A pillar of salt. That brimstone hit her. Woof, gone. I miss my baby, dog. I just wish she would have listened. We'll get you a new girl in Haran. How about that? We'll get you 3. That's what Abraham told. We'll get you 3. I'm just keeping it real. So, like, at the end of the day, guys, as light as I'm making it, just having fun and joking, that's closer to the truth than what you got in the biblical story. I swear to God, okay? But people just not ready to embrace this until they come to class. This is why you have to take my class. Because all of this stuff have to be explained over a 3-month period. Y'all see that now, right? Y'all see why the class lasts 3 to 4 months, right? It's an immense amount of information that has to be explained for you to understand humanity's true story. Do y'all know? Let me tell y'all something. When I'm teaching this shit that don't nobody know, when I'm teaching it and people say, oh, that's pseudo. You made that up. That's fake. When they saying all of that shit, they really not taking a shot at me. You know why they reject this information when we teaching about the Anunnaki and we teaching that the Bible was misinterpreted, that religion ain't what you think it is. When we teaching this stuff, do you know what they're really rejecting? They're not rejecting the information. What they are doing is telling you that you haven't brainwashed me enough. You see, the information that everybody think is true is from being brainwashed. So I haven't had the chance to brainwash you for 12 years like the school system did. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? See, you protect that information because you've been brainwashed on that shit for 12 years, then additional years after you got out of school. So I haven't had a chance to brainwash you. My information is not computed into you like that. That's why you reject it. Because you're trying to protect the brainwashing. Okay? So at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. We got some kind of lame in here. Chiquizan, I don't know. Get back across the border, brother. You ain't important. Somebody show this unimportant person right here at the door. We don't even let these type of people in here. But anyway, let's get back to the story. Let's get back to what we were saying. Because like I said, we're going to always have a little troll in here. So that's where we at, right? So now Enlil is getting ready to unleash these nukes on all of these cities that have sided with Marduk. Okay? And let's get into this thing. It's time, guys. It is time. All right, I need everybody to focus. Now, listen, if we got anybody in here that's not a class member, right now we just need you to shut the fuck up. We need you to fall back and respect the fact that this is our class. This is a real class. We together every day, 6 to 10. We've been together for the last 3 months discussing this lost book of Enki and all of the dots that I connect that goes along with this information, okay? So if you're not a class member or course member, I need you to fall back. Just listen. You're not going to understand what's going on because you haven't been in class. So that we don't need you interjecting. We don't need you trying to teach. We don't need no help. I'm a master teacher. I'm a master of my information. My students are just as good at this shit as I am. They don't need no help either. Okay? So if you in here, fall back, chill, relax, and let us do what we do. Okay? All right. So now you remember that Enki was, the last time the Anunnaki had a meeting to discuss the ongoings of Marduk, Enki left that meeting thinking, okay, listen, at least they don't know where the nukes are located, right? So he thought. But he didn't know that Enlil actually knew where they were located, okay? So this is where we are picking up, right? Enki was hoping, and then when he found out that Enlil actually knew where the nukes were located, then he went to hoping that the nukes were a dud, that they had been sitting up there for 300 some thousand years. He was hoping that the nukes did no longer work, okay? But these were some goddamn amazingly crafted nuclear weapons, because these motherfuckers lasted 400 some thousand years, right? 400 and shit, maybe about 445,000 years, okay? When Enki heard this second secret, in his heart, a wishful thought he harbored, that after such a long sojourn, the weapons of terror would have evaporated. So this was his hope, that they had evaporated. Little did Enki expect the long sojourn a calamity as never before known on earth to cause. Thus, it was that without Enki needing, Enlil, the two heroes, the hiding place disclosed. The 7 weapons of terror in a mountain they abide, to them Enlil said. In a cavity inside the earth they dwell. With the terror to clad them is required. Then the secret of how the weapons from their deep sleep awaken, Enlil to them did reveal. So he told them how to take them out of their deep sleep. Like I told y'all, just like you put your computer to sleep, they put the nukes. The nukes are a computer. You know what I'm saying? A nuclear weapon is a computer device. So they got the nukes in sleep mode. How you like that? They got the nukes in sleep mode. Come on with it. Before the 2 sons, one of Enlil and one of Enki, to the hiding place departed, Enlil, words of forewarning, said to them, the weapons are used by the Annunaki, must the chariot place be vacated. Okay? This is Enlil telling Ninurta to vacate the chariot place. That's the place where Abraham and his family and his tribe is living. Okay? Enlil says the cities must be spared. The people must not perish, because those are his chosen people. I want y'all to remember this now. He says to vacate that area, because them his people that live down there in that area. Okay, them his chosen people. So he says vacate it, okay, before we blow it up. And his skyship, Nergal, to the hiding place soared. By his father, Ninurta was delayed. So basically told him to stay back. Hold on, son, let me talk to you. A word to his son alone, Enlil wished to say. A secret to him alone to reveal. About the prophecy of Galzu and the choosing of Abram, who is Abraham, and the choosing of Abram to Ninurta, he told. Nergal is hot-headed. Make sure that the cities are spared. That Abram is forewarned, to Ninurta, Enlil said, okay? He's just making sure that don't nobody blow up the people of the cities, okay? When Ninurta at the weapons place arrived, Nergal had already brought out the nukes from the cavity. Their MEs from the long slumber he awakened. To each one of them, the 7, Nergal gave a task name, okay? So he brought the nukes out of sleep mode, okay? So what he's about to do now is which I thought is very cool. He's about to name the nukes, okay? Because they're a computer program. Think about this. When you save a file on your computer, you give it a name, right? You make a folder and you call this name such and such good time in 2020 or trip to Dubai or whatever you call it, right? Doing the same thing with the nukes. You know what I'm saying? He's labeling the nukes, naming them, giving them names to save the files under. Okay, so let's go through the 7 names that he gave these nuclear weapons. Listen up. They call them the weapons of terror, okay? And if y'all don't know that, that's where we get this concept called the weapons of mass destruction. That's where they get that concept from. They call these the weapons of terror. We call them weapons of mass destruction, okay? So here's the 7. The first weapon he called the one without rival. Okay, if you want to write them down, if you want to take notes. He called the first nuke the one without rival. The second nuke he called the blazing flame. So you know all of these names have a correlation to the power of the nuke. The one without rival must be a bombastic explosion, right? Means that none of these other nukes can compete with that one. It's the one without rival, okay? The blazing flame is the one that probably sends up the most pyrotechnics, the most heat, the most flame, okay? The third one he called the one who with terror crumbles. So this must be one that, you know, blow everything to smithereens. The fourth one he called the mountain melter. Listen to that. The mountain melt. You can melt the mountain. Motherfucker get so hot. Yes. Melt rock. The mountain melter. The fifth one was called wind that the rim of the world seeks. Okay. Now, when it says rim of the world, it says wind that the rim of the world seeks. They're talking about, you know, when a nuclear explosion, when it blows out and it goes into a mushroom cloud, there's a big circular ring of smoke that's around that, right? And that's exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about that ring of smoke that expands, okay? Wind that the rim of the world seeks. The sixth one he called the one who above and below no one spares. The seventh nuclear weapon was called vaporizer of the living things. The seven, listen to what they say about this one. The seven with monstrous venom was filled. So I don't know if y'all know, if y'all ever seen a nuke, kind of like a nuclear weapon being activated, but it's a solution. It's sometimes it'll be a green solution that will shoot inside of the canister, and it'll make this kind of like this chemical mix. They explaining that shit right there. Okay, when it says the seven with monstrous venom was filled. They're talking about that chemical mix that takes place when you activate the nuke, okay? I just think that's amazing, guys. Y'all got to remember that this shit was translated by Zecharia Sitchin back in the 60s. Nobody should be able to write like this. They don't call Zecharia Sitchin the greatest writer ever, guys. But if Zecharia Sitchin made this shit up, he should be considered the greatest writer ever. Because nobody should know about that. Like, the way that they're writing this shit, they're writing it. Okay, come on, Mod Squad God be in the building. You already know. I know you know some Mod Squad God. The way they writing it, by not mentioning, like, they write it in a way, they don't mention plutonium. Because that's a name that we came up with. We called it plutonium, right? But that ain't what they called it. So if they said plutonium, we would know that this probably wasn't written by the Anunnaki. But because they avoid using names that we use, it's just like when they talk about landing in Africa. They didn't say, we landed in Africa. The motherfuckers say, we landed in the heart-shaped region. You know why that makes sense? Because none of them regions had names. If they would have said a name, then you know it didn't come from them. They said, we landed in the heart-shaped region. That's beautiful. Okay, so the seventh with monstrous venom was filled. Vaporizer of living things, he called it. With Anu's blessing were the seven to Nergal and the Nerta given. To wreak destruction. Destruction to wreak. When the Nerta at the place of weapons arrived to destroy and annihilate, Nergal was ready. Nergal was ready. He was too excited. Nergal was ready to blow some shit up, and this didn't sit well with Ninurta. Okay? Ninurta might be a warrior, but he probably ain't like a demon. You know what I'm saying? Like Ninurta, like one of them dudes that, hey man, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do for the team, but I'm not like happy about destroying people. You know what I'm saying? Nergal, on the other hand, he was too excited. Okay? Nergal was very excited about destroying people, so this didn't sit well with Ninurta. Nergal with vengeance shouted, I shall kill the son. I will annihilate the father. The lands they covet will vanish. The sinning cities I will upheaval. So did Nergal announce with rage. Ninurta said, valiant Nergal, will you kill the righteous with the unrighteous? Will you destroy the righteous with the unrighteous? So did Ninurta ask his comrade. So Ninurta like, hey bro, you gonna go down there and kill everybody? You know it's good people down there too. We gotta be careful. Okay, we can't just kill everybody. It's good folks down there too. The instructions of Enlil are clear. To the selected targets, the way I will lead. You will follow behind me, Nergal. The decision of the Anunnaki to me is known, Nergal to Ninurta said. For 7 days and 7 nights, the signal from Enlil the two awaited. As was his intention, when his waiting was completed, Marduk to Babili returned. Let me pull up a map right quick. All right. So when they say Marduk returned to Babili, they talking about over in this area, in the first region. See, Marduk managed to conquer all of this shit. But this is all Enlil's neighborhood. This is all Enlil's neighborhood. Remember I told y'all, Marduk was being bold. You know what I'm saying? It's like being a Crip coming into a blood neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. He set up shop. He was a Crip who set up shop in blood neighborhoods. That's who the fuck Marduk was. I'm just trying to make you understand that, okay? So just imagine how bold you got to be to do that, right? So this is Babili. When they say Marduk returned, this is the area they talking about, okay? So listen up. In the presence of his followers, with weapons armed, his supremacy he declared. So he got his army behind him. He said, I'm tired of waiting. I'm the supreme ruler. You remember y'all remember, it's still the time of the bull. It's still the time of Taurus. But Marduk is very impatient. Marduk don't want to wait no more. Okay? So he said, hey, enough is enough. I'm here to take it over. If we got a war for it, let's do it. Hey, let's do it. 1,736 was the count of Earth years then. On that day, on that fateful day, Enlil to Ninurta sent the signal. To Mount Mashu, Ninurta departed. Behind him, Nergal followed. The mountain plain in the heart of the fourth region, Ninurta from the skies surveyed. With a squeezing in his heart, Nergal gave a sign. Keep off, to him he signaled. All right? So he told Nergal to keep off, right? Don't do nothing. Then the first terror weapon from the skies, Ninurta let loose. The top of Mount Mashu, with a flash, it sliced off. Let's take a second and digest that. The top of Mount Mashu. Okay? The top of Mount, I'm finna show y'all that mountain that they sliced the top off of. Yeah. It's still, you know, the mountain is still there. Arabian, this is Mount Mashu, guys. All right, and I don't know if you notice, but something's very, y'all see how this is right here? How this is very straight and smooth. Mountains don't do this. They don't be straight and smooth like this, okay? This is in the Arabian Peninsula. This is the mountain that the top was sliced off of. It's a reason why it looks just too perfect. Because if you know anything about a mountain, mountain's gonna be very uneven. It's gonna be jutting out. You're gonna have very uneven, but this is all uniform. Look at that. You can draw a line over that, right? That's all uniform because the top was sliced off of it. Okay. The top of Mount Mashu with a flash is sliced off. Above the place of the celestial chariots, the second weapon he unleashed. With a brilliance of 7 suns, the plains and rocks into a gushing womb were made. The earth shook and crumbled. The heavens after the brilliance were darkened. With burnt and crushed stones was the plains of the chariots covered. Of all the forests that the plain had surrounded, only tree stems were left standing. Yeah. If you want to see what that looked like, go look at the blast of Tunguska. Okay? Go look at the blast of Tunguska when there is a nuclear type explosion or something went over Siberia and Tunguska and it left all the trees flat. Like they say, what number stems left standing? It is done. Ninurta from the skyship toward his divine bird shouted, the control that Marduk and Nabu so coveted of, they are deprived forever. Okay, so they blew up the Arabian Peninsula. They blew up the Arabian Peninsula, which was Tiamun, the 4th region. And now they feel like as long as it's off limits to Marduk. As long as it's off limits. Then to emulate Ninurta, Nergal desired. To be Era, the annihilator, his heart urged him. Following the king's highway to the verdant valley of the 5 cities, he flew. In the verdant valley where Nabu, the people, was converting, Nergal, as a caged bird, squashed him, planned. Over the 5 cities, one after the other, Era upon each from the skies, Era upon each other from the skies, a weapon of terror sent. The 5 cities of the valley, he finished off. To desolation, they were overturned. So Nergal was a fucking idiot. So Ninurta and them took care of business. This is where Enlil wanted Ninurta to take care of business at. Y'all understand? Look at this. Check this out. So this is what they were supposed to blow up. Okay? Nergal then went his ass over here. Now, you got Amun-Ra and Nabu is over here converting people to be Enkites. Remember I told y'all? Marduk is a Crip in the Blood neighborhood. But Enlil did not tell Nergal to drop a bomb in this area, in this region. He told them to bomb this region. Ninurta did what he was supposed to do. He was done. Okay? It was over with. We still supposed to have the fertile crescent. But Nergal, dumbass, decides, I want to make Nabu pay. He decides If Nabu is down here converting people in this region, I'm going to make Nabu play. I'm going to make Nabu pay. So he drops nukes in this region, which was the Illinites' foundation. This was all Illinite cities. Even though Marduk was trying to build some support in these areas, this was still all Illinite regions. Okay? This is Sumer, Babylonia, Uruk, Lagash. These are all Sumerian cities. Okay? And you know, when you go from here to the right, then you're in the third region. You're in the Pakistan, Indus Valley region, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Indus Valley. Okay? So that nuclear wind, guys, one of the biggest things with a nuke, the reason why a nuke is so bad is the nuclear wind. It ain't the blast. It's the shit that happens after the blast. Because see, after the blast, the wind picks it up and carries that nuke dust all over the fucking region, all over. It goes as far as it could go. It could go anywhere from 500 to 1,000 miles. When they drop the nuke on Hiroshima, people in cities far away died from the effects of the nuclear fallout. I just watched a documentary on it. You think that they just killed the people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Hell nah. Man, that bomb, and that's another thing I challenge y'all to do. Go do your research on that shit. That was the worst shit ever. That was some devil demon shit. Y'all want to talk about the devil, nigga? I don't even think the devil done killed that many people. Shit. America, whew, or maybe let's just say America is the devil. Sheesh. So the wind will pick up that nuclear, that radiation and carry that shit. Okay? And when the wind picked up that radiation and it carried it, this is what happened to these people. This is how these people did. These are third region. These are the people of the third region. Okay? So here we go. Let's get it. With fire and brimstones were they upheavaled. All that lived there to vapor was turned. By the awesome weapons where mountains toppled. Where the sea waters were barred, the boat broke open. So now we got floods on top of the fact that we just had a nuclear explosion. Now it didn't cause the bars to break loose. And now we got flooding on top of that. Want to know what happened to the fertile crescent? Here you go. Down into the valley, the sea waters poured. Down into the valley, the sea waters poured. Flooded it out. The waters was the valley, by the waters was the valley flooded. When upon the cities, the ashes, the waters poured. Steam to the heavens was rising. It is done, Nergal and his skyship shouted. In Nergal's heart, there was no more vengeance. Surveying their evil handiwork, the two heroes, by what they saw, were puzzled. By a darkening of the skies where the brilliances followed. Then a storm began to blow. Swirling with a dark cloud, gloom from the skies, an evil wind carried. What I told you, that's the evil wind. Now that wind is starting to carry that shit. This is the problem. Here we go. As the day wore on, the sun of the horizon with darkness it obliterated. At nighttime, a dreaded brilliance skirted its edges. The moon at its rising, it made disappear. When dawn the next morning came from the west, from the upper sea, a storm wind began blowing. The dark brown cloud directed it eastward toward the settled lands. Did the cloud spread? Let me pull up a map again and show y'all exactly. a storm kicked up, a storm wind kicked up from over here, and it blew that nuclear smoke all the way eastward. So guess what? The wind blew that shit away from Marduk's lands. Marduk's lands didn't even get really hurt. His land didn't get hurt like that. Like some stuff got blown up, but the nuclear wind got pushed eastward. Right? That's crazy. That's wild. Whenever it reached death to all that lives, mercifully it delivered. From the valley of no pity by the brilliant spawned toward Sumer, the death was carried. All right, so even Sumeria, right? The people of Sumer suffered. Black folks, you finna learn that. You finna learn that coming up. To Enlil and Enki, Ninurta and Nergal, the alarm sounded. Unstoppable the evil wind, death to all it delivers. So this is what they're screaming out. They're telling everybody, man, we got to get out of here. This evil wind gonna take us all out. The alarmed Enlil and Enki to the gods of Sumer transmitted. Escape, escape to them all, they cried out. Let the people disperse. Let the people hide. So now the shit hitting the fan. They starting to realize they done fucked up. Imagine going to do damage to somebody and then it ended up blowing back on you. Right? From their cities, the gods did flee. Like frightening birds from their nests escaping their words. So they ain't gods. Now y'all understand? Stop calling these people gods. Stop calling them fallen angels. Every time one of y'all, I'm saying this to America. Every time somebody brings up the Anunnaki and y'all say, the fallen angels, shut the fuck up. They were never angels. They were not fallen angels. They are not from the system of archons. They just like us in that respect. They wasn't a part of the system of archons. They are not fallen angels. Stop saying that. That's why y'all need to come to fuck the class so y'all can get the correct information so you can understand who these Anunnaki were. They not no fallen angels. They men. They needed help. They manipulated humanity. They made humanity work for them and fight for them. Do y'all understand that? That's who the Anunnaki is. Every time, so you're talking about the fallen angels. They ain't no fucking fallen angels. Excuse me. The people of the lands by the evil storm's hands were clutched. Futile was the running. Stealthy was the death. Like a ghost, the fields and cities it attacked. Give me 1 second. It's really cool. She ain't going to school tomorrow. All right. Appreciate y'all being patient. All right. Stealthily was the death, like a ghost, the fields and cities it attacked. The highest walls, the thickest walls, like flood waters it passed. They explaining, yeah, everything okay, my love. Did you need something? What you talking about, Corlisa? what Corlisa talking about? I don't know. Um, was that message for me or was it for somebody else? Okay, I'm not sure. All right, let me get back to it. So they're explaining how this wind, how easily they're explaining how easily this nuclear wind is moving its way through. Okay, so let me read this again so y'all can understand. Stealthily was the death, like a ghost, the fields and cities it attacked. Okay? The highest walls, the thickest walls, like flood waters it passed. No door could shut it out. No boat could turn it back. You can't block out, vapor. You can't block out wind, all right? Those who behind locked doors hid inside their houses like flies were felled. Those, watch this one. Check this one out. I'm going to make this, listen to this. Those who to the streets fled, in the streets were their corpses piled up. Boom. It really happened. We reading from the tablets. They wrote down everything that took place during that time. It's a time for everybody to stop acting like the truth is not out there. We need y'all to stop guessing about humanity's history. We need y'all to understand that the truth is actually out there. These people wrote a detailed depiction of what took place when they was here. What happened? And just like they explained it in them tablets, that is exactly what the fuck we find in humanity. Let me read it again. Listen to them. Listen to what they say. Those who behind locked doors hid inside their houses like flies were felled. Those who to the streets fled, in the streets were their corpses piled up. Cough and film filled the chest. The mouth with spittle and foam filled up. Okay, so people was having convulsions. People was foaming at the mouth from this shit, They explaining everything that happens from radiation sickness. So guys, who the hell had this information 5,000 years ago? Who had this information 5,000 years ago to know what takes place with radiation sickness? That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. As the evil wind, the people unseen engulfed, their mouths were drenched with blood. Slowly over the lands, the evil winds blew. From west to east, over plains and mountains it traveled. That's how it got into the third reed. That's how it got to Mohenjo-Daro. Everything that lived behind it was dead and dying. People and cattle all alike perished. The waters were poisoned. In the fields, all vegetation withered. And that is why this region that was once known as the Fertile Crescent is no longer fertile. This region, you know, we see desert landscapes, but this wasn't always desert landscapes. This was very lush forest. These were forests. Listen, guys, these is the mountains. These is the cedar forest in Lebanon right here. Okay, this is where Baalbek is located. Okay, so they had forests. This was green, lush. This was a huge area of lushness. Now it's all desert. And that's what happened to the Fertile Crescent, guys. College ain't teach you that. High school ain't teach you that. Church ain't teach you that. At some point, motherfucker got to give me my props. Zechariah Sitchin didn't even teach motherfuckers that. Zechariah Sitchin provided the information, but he didn't connect the dots and tell y'all, oh, that's what happened to the Fertile Crescent. That's why the Fertile Crescent isn't fertile anymore. It was blown to bits in a nuclear explosion. It was rendered useless. It was rendered useless by a nuclear explosion. But you want to keep telling yourself that my class ain't worth it. You out your fucking mind. You walking around here like you know the truth, like you know what took place in humanity, and you don't. I can't even be out here on certain sites because when people start talking about human history, I have to walk the other way because I know they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Right now, I got a post that I'm on where I'm talking about black people being in this land before the Native Americans. And these folks over here saying all kind of dumb shit. And I'm like, I ain't going to take offense to it because y'all just baby brains. Y'all just don't have the information. The Fertile Crescent lost its fertility due to this nuclear fallout. And they never taught you that. But now you know. From Eridu in the south to Sippar in the north, did the evil wind the land overwhelm. Babili, where Marduk declared supremacy by the evil wind, was spared. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? All of these other places got obliterated by the evil wind. But the one place, y'all know when I told y'all Marduk built a house in a blood neighborhood? That's the house he built, Babili. It was spared. The one place, you know, other than don't get me wrong, they wanted to destroy the spaceport, but they also wanted to destroy Babili. But they didn't. It's almost like, let me show you what this seems like. It seems like something was helping Marduk. It almost like Marduk was meant to rule. That's what this is going to feel like to Enlil. It's going to be like, well, I guess Marduk was meant to rule. Because this shit worked in his favor. Tap it up, tap it up. Let's knock this goal out. We got a little goal right here. Let's knock this goal out. We finna finish up strong, guys. It's the finale. Let's get some thunderbolts going. Let's knock this goal out. Let's get it. Babili, where Marduk declared supremacy by the evil wind, was spared. All the lands of Babili, the evil wind devoured. The heart of the second region, it also touched. Okay? When in the aftermath of the great calamity, Enlil and Enki to survey the havoc met up. Okay? So now here come Enlil and Enki coming in to survey all of the damage that took place. Enki to Enlil. Enki considered the sparing of Babili as a divine omen. Okay? That's what I just got through talking about. Appreciate you, Corlisa. Enki considered the sparing of Babili as a divine omen. So that's basically him telling Enlil, see, I told you it was meant to be. I told you. High vibrational people, bro. You don't want to fuck with people who meditate and people who are connected to the Most High, people who give thanks, people who got gratitude in their heart. You don't want to fuck with us. Because we ain't going to do nothing to you. We want y'all to start realizing these steps been ordered. It's time for y'all to start realizing that. It's time for you to start realizing how special you is. You very special. Each and every one of y'all serve a very special role in this class. And when we going forward, okay? Each one of y'all got got an immense amount of value that y'all bring to this thing. You are very special, okay? And you are a part of something. And you ain't gonna realize it till later in your life. You being trained for that moment right now. This is your training. This is the beginning of your training. So you're getting the information, you're getting the knowledge, you're getting the understanding, you're getting the insight. You're getting it all right now. Okay, that's why I be telling y'all, stick with me. Don't be like these other people that jumped off the ship. They wasn't meant to be here. Well, I knew some people was going to jump off. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way it's designed. Because we want the strongest of the strong. We don't want the ones who break down, get weak, jump off. The ones who lose hope. The ones who don't really believe. Bless their heart. But they exactly where they supposed to be. But if you here with us right now, you supposed to be. So keep walking. It's going to get pretty amazing very fast. All right, let's finish up strong. To his brother's words, Enki listened. His head up and down, he nodded. The first region is desolate. The second region is in confusion. The third region is wounded. The place of the celestial chariots is no more. So boom, gone. Fertile crescent, gone. This, gone. Look at this. This used to be all green, gang. What y'all think? This used to be all green. Gone. They over here in confusion. Over in these lands. Fucked up. This is what has happened. Enlil said to Enki, if it was the will of the creator of all, that is what our mission to earth remained. By the ambitions of Marduk was the seed sown. What the crop resulted is for him to reap. And let me tell y'all something too, man. I want to say this. When people say it was the will of God for something to happen, we got to stop thinking that when we say something was meant to happen, that it's always got to be something positive. Negative things happen for a reason. Did I tell y'all you need the good and the bad? You need the evil and the good. All of this is balance. That's God. God is balance. So when you see a bad thing happen, you don't live in the reality that's 100% positive. That's probably where you're going to ascend to. That's maybe at the end of the day, our goal is to ascend to the reality that's 100% positive. That's all peace, love, prosperity. And we can value that peace, love, and prosperity because we experienced this reality. So in this reality, you felt negativity, you felt evil, you felt sickness, you felt pain. So when you graduate to the new reality, you're going to love it. You're going to love God so much because you're going to recognize what you used to be in. Okay? So I keep telling y'all, man, what God got for us, man, is y'all just little kids. Y'all just little kids who can't wait for Christmas. But Christmas coming. And that Christmas is going to be what the Most High gives us in the future. It's coming. You just have to be patient and put in your time. Just like little kids have to do. My kids going crazy right now. They want them goddamn presents. Them presents stacked up around that tree. Man, them folk finna have a goddamn fit in this house every day they come home. So we just like that. We just like little kids waiting on Christmas. But y'all gotta be patient with the Most High because this system is very complex. And listen, just be a servant. Be in service of God. And what that means is wake up every day, live this life that God has given you, go through the life, experience the life, help people, learn from people, live it, man, experience it. That's all that God asks you to do. That's it. Live it. Experience the life, learn from it, and be patient. I promise you, all of this has great purpose. This life, living, it all has great purpose. So don't think that we living with no purpose. Don't think that we just here just to be here. So even the bad stuff has a purpose. Even the negative stuff has a purpose, okay? So did Enlil to his brother Enki say, then he the triumph of Marduk accepted. Let the rank of 50 by me for the nurture intended be given to Marduk. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie, I gotta give Marduk his props. Nigga, Marduk went from no rank. I think because he was exiled at the time, they ain't even mention a ranking for Marduk. At best, he might have had a ranking of 5. Shit, nigga, Marduk rose up over Enki. Marduk rose to 50 rank over Enki, huh? All right, but that's his son. That's what he wanted. He wanted his son to inherit the earth. Okay? That's his firstborn. Enki love that nigga. I don't love him, but Enki love him. Let Marduk over the desolation in the regions his supremacy declare. As for me and the nurture, we will in his way no longer stand. To the lands beyond the oceans we will depart. What we had, all had come for. The mission to obtain for Nibiru gold we will complete. So Enlil, this is Enlil licking his chops. Well, you know, let Marduk rule this region now, from now on. Let him be the ruler. Me and the nurture, we gonna leave. We gonna jump in our ship. We gonna go. Shouldn't even fuck with y'all. My bad. But guys, it did not end there. It did not end there. The Lost Book of Enki wants you to believe that it ended there. It did not end there. Marduk said, See, they want you to believe that Marduk just accepted this apology from Enlil. That Marduk was like, okay, Unc, I appreciate you recognizing me. That ain't what happened. That ain't what happened. Yeah. Let me let y'all know right now. Marduk jumped in his skybird. This is the city of the sun right here, over in South America, in Peru. Tiahuanaco, blown to bits. This is a huge megalithic structure. It was blown to bits. They used to be a excuse me. The H blocks used to be a platform. Now, if you go over there to Pumapunku, you find these H blocks scattered everywhere. These big, heavy, huge ass stones scattered and broken everywhere. And they be like, how did this happen? It's almost like somebody pulverized the stones. No, it was blown to bits. This part, again, Zachariah Sitchin didn't cover. This came from Chief Cutter doing his work. Chief Cutter connecting the dots. Because like I told y'all, listen to me, man. This is what y'all need to understand about knowledge. Knowledge is an ongoing process. Do y'all understand that? Knowledge do not stop and get stagnant with one person. Everybody has to contribute to information. The knowledge of the world exists not because one person imparted it on the people. The knowledge of the world exists is because one civilization handed it down to the next civilization, and so forth. And we kept adding on to it. We add as we go. Zecharia Sitchin did amazing work. He laid that work off on all of the information travelers, on all of the researchers. And he says, hey, take my information and then go to the next level. But they didn't do that. They just been teaching his information the whole time. Well, your brother Chief Cutter came along and I decided that it's more to this shit. So I pounded the pavement and I kept going. And I found more. So what I found, guys, is that Marduk did not stop. Marduk went over to the Americans and blew their shit to bits. Okay? And this little back and forth skirmish continued for some time. And it ended with Enlil and Ninurta and them being ran underground. Okay? So that is where you're going to find some of the Anunnaki factions to this day. It's living in inner earth. They got blasted till they ran underground. Okay? And at that point, like I say, what you need to understand is, at that point, Marduk began to travel the world. He had already traveled the world. He had already had other groups of people that he had been training, that he had his EGG training. Now, watch this. Now, y'all know the EGG was some ruthless motherfuckers, some war-ready motherfuckers, some gangsters, right? So they got a very cold nature, right? And the EGG was right under the rulership. They always been under the rulership of Marduk. Marduk has always been the leader of the EGG. He was their supervisor on Mars. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that Marduk was that's where we get the name Mars from. That's another thing I didn't tell y'all. The name Mars belongs to Marduk. It's Mars's. Okay, Marduk is where we get the name Mars from. I forgot to drop that on y'all. That's where we get the name Mars from, Marduk. Okay? So, how do they get to go to Nibiru? On spaceship, my love. Spaceship and Stargate. They fly through the cosmic, through the cosmos. Well, I kind of lost my train of thought just then. The EGG. Okay, so the EGG is was under his tutelage. Okay? A very cold group. Right? A very war-ready group. Cold, callous, war-ready. Who did you think they ended up training? Who you think they ended up training? The Germanics, the Vikings, the people that we call European. Trained by the EGG. The whites. The whites were trained by the EGG. All right. So I want y'all to understand, like, what y'all need to know is, the Anunnaki don't have some kind of affection, some kind of personal affection for us as black people. They look at all the earthlings, just as their cattle or as their flock. So they don't look at it like they prefer the black earthlings over the white earthlings. Whoever can do the job. Whoever can do the job. So that's what I want y'all to know. We don't have no kind of special relationship that the Anunnaki put us over everybody else. They don't. Whoever was willing to do the job. And so, they trained these whites up. Okay. After they took them from when the whites had evolved into Neanderthal, they took them and they genetically edited them into Cro-Magnon, the Cro-Magnon man. Cro-Magnon was like the first Homo sapien, kind of like the Adamu. You know what I'm saying? Had a little intelligence. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the Cro-Magnon. That's the Cro-Magnon. Okay, you got to understand, the Neanderthal was the caveman. The Cro-Magnon was closer to modern man. Okay? So Cro-Magnon is the one that got edited. That's the genetic alteration from Neanderthal to Cro-Magnon. Cro-Magnon wiped out the Neanderthal. You get what I'm saying? So at 40,000 years ago is when they started the genetic alteration of the Neanderthal. All right? The Neanderthal was genetically altered to become the Cro-Magnon. Cro-Magnon was the modern man, was the white modern man. He was still a little hairy, but he was closer to what we see today. And that is the one that they trained to become just straight warriors, straight fighters. They never lived in civility. They didn't teach them how to live civilly like they did us. See, the Anunnaki imparted their royal ways on us. Y'all understand that? So watch this. When you're dealing with Enki, Enlil, Ninmah, when you're dealing with all of these are quality Anunnaki. These are classy Anunnaki people, right? But then when you get to Marduk don't give a fuck about nothing but power and conquest. Marduk don't care nothing about power and conquest. So he not finna teaching people how to be civil. He not finna teaching people how to all the priestly rites. They didn't do that. They just trained the motherfuckers to be ready to fight, to be bloodthirsty. The white man ain't get his civility to damn near probably 800 years, like close to 1,000 years ago. Let me see what. Yeah, about 1,000 years ago is when he got civilized. Just 1,000 years ago. Not even that far. I actually gave him too much credit. Maybe 500 years ago. Maybe 600 years ago is when he got his civility. That's when Marduk decided to switch the kingship over to them. Now the royals, the Queen Elizabeth and them been saying that they was connected to the Egyptian throne. They always have said that. But we be like, hell no, these white folks ain't got no connection to Egypt. Yes, they do. Now I understand the story. Now I understand how they can have a connection to Egypt. Now I get it. So yes, they do. Marduk gave them the kingship. Marduk moved the kingship from us and moved it to them. Hold your questions to the end, guys. I'm still going on in the course. Just hold your question. We'll get into it. We're going to get into it. I'm still in the middle of teaching this last bit of information. Because I know some people asking questions. Some of y'all questions like, a little bit, you say, let me see. Who did that? Modified them. When you ask me like a question like this, who did that? That's a very specific. I can't tell you who modified them, but we know that they were modified by the Anunnaki. That's all we know. We ain't gonna have, and like far as I'm concerned, Ningazita and Enki were geneticists. Ninmah I didn't never hear them talk about Marduk being a geneticist, but I'm sure he had the information. As long as you had the MEs, you can perform the procedure. So I'm not sure who specifically did the procedure, but it took place. We know it took place. Because if not, the white man will still be around this motherfucker. So I can't tell you, nobody has, nobody has given us that answer. Like I told y'all, some of this stuff some of these detailed answers, guys, you would have to be there. We ain't gonna have detailed answers. We don't know who specifically genetically altered. But what I will tell you, this is Kanayo. That's where the story of Yakub come from. That's what I'll give you that. So your story of Yakub, it comes from this. It's just that people have created their own version of it. So their own version of this Yakub story has been created. So I don't know who created the story of Yakub, but the event actually took place. These whites were genetically modified the same way we were genetically modified. But this story of Yakub, this idea that somebody did something to his mom and he wanted to pay back black people and all that dumb shit, that's some shit that people made up to go with this story. Okay, so y'all can get away with that one. That one don't fly. Because if that's the truth, then show us the island of Patmos, where y'all say he did this at. You know what I'm saying? Show us the lab. The lab should still be there. It should still be in existence. Everything they built was in stone. So if that was the truth. So what I'm trying to say is at the end of the day is that people just got this, like I say, guys, I want to tell y'all this right now. Listen. Whoever you're learning from, if they not starting with the Sumerian tablets, throw that shit away. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You can't get around it. There's no debate to be had. There is no, oh, but what about this, Chief? Guys, it all starts. It's just like, let me give you this for example. If God say, hey, I left some tablets down there, and those tablets have all of the events that preceded human history, are we supposed to be like, oh, no, it might be something else out there? No, the tablets is the tablets. So all of these other stories, and y'all can throw all that shit away. All of this shit that society gave y'all, throw that shit away. Start over from the tablets and go forward. The tablets don't speak of a dude named Yakub. They don't speak of this island of Patmos shit. The story of Yakub is a story of black versus white. That ain't even what the case was. That's some shit. That's some new shit. Back then, the war was between the powerful, whoever was the powerful versus the powerful. The story was not black versus white. It was against this group wanted some land. This group wanted some land. And these groups, they clashed over land. So this concept, this black and white concept, this is all new shit, man. This is all shit coming from people trying to make sense of what we living in. So yeah, the genetic alteration of whites absolutely took place. And if I can answer my brother Kanayo a little bit more, Kanayo, I'm gonna give you this. You know Enki loved his son. Now you know Enki loved his son. You know Enki, come on now. So when you ask me who genetically modified the whites, who do you think genetically modified them? Shit. Who you think was in there? When they went back into that laboratory and they had them two white Neanderthals laying on that table, who walked through that door? Dad. You know Dad walked through the door. You know who did them white folks. Them white folks smart as hell now. They get them folks problem. You know, come on, man. Enki touched them folks, man. Let's go and keep it real. You know, we like Enki. We ain't want to just say it. Didn't nobody just want to say it. But we like Enki. Enki touched them folks, man. Enki, you know, that he loved his son Marduk. Always making excuses for Marduk. He loved Marduk, so he helped him with the white folks. All right? He helped him with the white folks. That's just the bottom line. And see, when he brought them back over into that land, he brought them back over into that land to get rid of Enlil's people, to wipe out Enlil's people once and for all. And Enlil's people just so happened to be us. Shit, Marduk's people was us. The original Enlilites, what y'all call Israelites, so that's another thing. The real name is Enlilites. The original Enlanites was us, was melanated folks. The Akhenaji, the people that y'all call Jews today, were Akhenajis from Khazaria, who converted into Judaism because they was running from Genghis Khan or one of them Huns. They was running from somebody. And then they came down into our lands and they converted into Judaism. And so now they didn't go through what we went through. We went through slavery. So slavery cut us off from that connection, that heritage, and we lost who we were. And then they just kept our identity. They just kept our identity because our identity is worth a lot. It's a valuable identity. So they kept our identity. They mastered our information. And now they walk around like they really is the real Jews. And so what y'all need to realize is you're now dealing with a new Elamite versus Enkite war. Now it's the fake Jews versus the Arabs. The Arabs are the Palestinians, but they're not the original Palestinians. The original Palestinian was our people. Those Arabs who came out the mountains warred with our people during Arab conquest and ran our people. They took over those lands. So our people went down into Africa, started, more and more of these people that lived in a portion of the Middle East. I keep telling y'all that melanated people was founded in the Middle East because all of that is Africa. Ain't no such thing as the Middle East. When Arab conquest, when the Arabs pushed the foundational melanated people out of those areas, and they started claiming the areas after being there for 1,000 years, 1,500 years, you start thinking that these people was there all the time, but they wasn't. So now you got the Jew trying to claim the inheritance of you. The Jew is trying to claim your inheritance. So they claim it is their right to have this promised land. This land was promised to them by their God. Look at this dum-dum right here. Look at this idiot right here, guys. This nigga ain't even got a real name. This nigga name is 60PM842. Boy, you got a prison number. Get your goof ass out of here. This nigga say, no, Jews are from Mu. Look, oh, y'all should have left him in here for a second. Goof ass nigga. This some shit that he done got from Earth Speaks or somebody. No, the Jews are from Mu. No, you good, Sin. You did right. I was just finna fire his ass up. I was finna fire his ass up with that dumb ass shit. These dudes be on social media and they be jumping in every lie. They think that every dude on social media that's teaching is a real teacher or that's got some real information. And so they go learn this dumb ass shit from these dudes. And then they come into a real teacher's class and then they, man, oh, it's crazy. Imagine being a dude who did one oil change in your life. And then you go to a NASCAR event and try to tell the dudes working on the NASCARs how to work on the car. Imagine that. That's kind of like what these niggas do. That's kind of like what they do. They come in here and want to, no, the Jews are from Mu. Boy, shut your goof ass up. Whew, Lord have mercy. But I digress. Would matters have been different were the weapons of terror unused, Enki, his brother, challenged? Should we have the words of Galzu to Nabiru not return heeded? Enlil retorted. Should we have heeded the words of Galzu and not return to Nabiru? Should Earth mission been stopped when the Anunnaki mutinied? These are all the questions that they are pondering. I did what I did. You did what you did. The past cannot be undone. Is not in that too a lesson? Enki asked them both. Is not what happened on earth what happened on Nibiru mirrored? So what they come to realize that they had basically played out their same existence on earth that they had done on Nibiru. Some of the same shit that happened on Nibiru and some of the same stuff that ended up taking place on the earth. Is not in the tale of the future written, will mankind in our image created, in our attainments and failures repeat? We repeating it right now. They just asked, will humanity repeat our failures? We doing it right now. And we getting ready to go to nuclear war for the third time? Well, really for the fourth time. We getting ready to have our fourth world war. Not the third one. The third one already took place. And Enlil grasped his brother's arm, hugged him as well. Shall we meet again on Earth or on Nibiru? Enki asked. Through all that shit, Enki and Enlil still got love for each other. They still brothers. They still brothers. Was Galzu right that we die if we go to Nibiru? Enlil responded, then he turned and departed. Alone was Enki left. Only by the thoughts of his heart was he accompanied. How it all began and how it all ended, he sat and pondered. Was it all destiny or was it by fate, this and that decision fashion? If heaven and earth by cycles within cycles regulated, what had happened will again occur. Is the past the future? Will the earthlings emulate the Anunnaki? Listen to the questions they asking. Will the earthlings emulate the Anunnaki? Yeah, we did. Will Earth relive Nibiru? Will he, the first to arrive, be the last to leave? Besieged by thoughts, Enki made a decision. All the events and decisions starting with Nibiru to this day on Earth to put in a record, a guide to future generations to become. Just told you. They just told you what they did. They say, from here on, with everything that took place from Nibiru to Earth, we are going to put in a record for future generations to come. It's just that your government didn't get this information and teach it to you. They decided to teach you something else. The Anunnaki left the information for us to do just what we're doing right now. For us to uncover the truth. Let prosperity at a time by destiny designated, let posterity at a time by destiny designated, the record be read. Let the past be remembered and let the future as prophecy understand. So they say at the proper time, this information gonna be revealed. And what we in? The age of Aquarius, baby. The age of Aquarius. Let the future of the past be the judge. These are the words of Enki, firstborn of Anu of Nibiru. written from the mouth of the great Lord Enki, inscribed by Inducer. Not one word missed, not one word added, by the master scribe Inducer, a man of Eridu, a son of Udbar, by the Lord Enki, with long life I have been blessed. So his scribe, Inducer, he made sure he could live long. He gave him the water of life, the flower of life, so he can live. Inducer's still alive right now because his job is to record the events of humanity. The Anunnaki are overseeing this planet. See, we can't see behind the curtain. They behind the curtain. We can't see behind the curtain. Okay? They still are over this planet. Still watching over, still keeping notes. They still consider us their flock, their inventory. Okay? So this is what took place, guys. This is what facilitated the human history. Whatever you thought that happened, everything has a foundation. Everything has an origin. It all needs to make sense. Adam and Eve needed to have a reason to be procreating. It had to be a purpose. See, y'all, when I say that, motherfuckers be like, well, the purpose, God said be fruitful and multiply, but what was the purpose of them multiplying, though? Was it just for God's enjoyment? No, it wasn't. What was the purpose of them multiplying? To do what? What was the purpose? Now, when I tell y'all Adam and Eve needed to be a purpose, a reason for Adam and Eve, right? What was the purpose? There you go. Come on, Sand Breeze. Put your star student hat on. Now, don't that make sense? Don't that make sense? So when you ask me about Adam and Eve, you ask me, you got the God story. You say God created Adam and Eve for what purpose? Oh, just for them to be fruitful and multiply. Well, that's the end of the story. Ain't nothing else to do. If they was just supposed to be here to be fruitful and multiply, what are they multiplying for? For what purpose? Now, then you look at the Anunnaki version, and you say the Anunnaki genetically altered these people because they wanted to create a workforce so they could get this gold out the earth. Now you got a purpose. Now this shit starting to make some sense. Instead of it, God just made everything and this is the way it was. Now this shit got to make sense, man. These buildings and these structures exist. You got to explain to us why these pyramids exist. You got to explain to us why the pyramids are a one of one. Huh? If man was building these motherfuckers, then they should be everywhere. Should they not? That's got to make sense. If man was building these pyramids, they should be everywhere. When I say everywhere, I mean I'm talking about like Giza. But they not everywhere. It's a few here, a few there, some bigger, some smaller. None of them like Giza. Because man didn't build the motherfuckers. Man was living in mud huts. We found man in his domain. We found man. We ain't found man buried in no elaborate structures. Because man wasn't building the motherfuckers. That's why y'all got it. When I bring up the pyramids, guys, when the fact that the Bible don't mention the pyramids, ain't nobody never showed me. The fact that the Bible don't talk about the pyramids should be a red flag. Should be a red flag. Now, I know why the Bible don't talk about the pyramids, because the Bible, the Christian Bible, was based off the Hebrew Bible, and the Hebrew Bible is authored by Enlil, and Enlil hated Marduk, and the fucking pyramids was located in the second region, so why would the God of the first region write anything about the second region? The Hebrew God is not going to show favor to the God of Egypt. Different gods. That's a Hebrew God. There's the Christian God. There's the Hindu God. There's the Islam God, the Muslim God. These different gods. These ain't all the same. Motherfuckers be talking about, oh, we all got the same God. No, they not. Them people will go to war and will blow you to bits about their God. You and them ain't serving the same God. Islam don't allow their women to show their bodies and walk around showing themselves. They strict about their God. Last time I checked, Christians out here doing it. American Christians, women doing shit. American Christian women twerking in the church. So now y'all ain't the same. I'm going to need y'all to stop. Pump your brakes on that shit. I'm going to need y'all to stop. Pump your brakes. You're not the same. There's different gods. So you need to figure out, why are there different gods? Why do the Hebrew got a different God? Let me understand what I'm saying, nigga. If everybody came from Adam and Eve and we was one unit and we all came from the same seed, then our God... Are you following me right now? Are you following me? If we all came from Adam and Eve, how the fuck do we get to a point where we deviating from the God that they served? If Adam and... Man, don't start me, man. Make it make sense. If Adam and Eve served the God that created them, how in the hell did we get to a point where man started deviating, creating other gods other than the one that created Adam and Eve? How? Come on. I'm ready. Hey, man, I'm taking on all challenges. I want the biggest preachers. I want the biggest, whoever you got. I want your deacon board. I want the preachers. Bring out the biggest Christians. Come your ass on out. My family, my team against your church. Well, let's go. Let's debate it. All you historians, bring your ass on out. I got a bone to pick. This shit gotta make sense. Black folks, you say, oh, we God's people. We chosen by God. God, we got God over everybody else. Man, get out of here with that. Don't start. Because y'all love God. Y'all love that version of God that y'all got. Y'all love that version of God, that version of God that y'all made up. But that same version of God left your ass in slavery. So either your version of God ain't real or your version of God don't love you. It's one or the other. I don't think your version of God is real. I'm sorry. I got a better version. I got a better version of God that explains a lot. You want to check out my version of God? Go watch my System of God class on YouTube at UML 5500. I explained to you about the system of God and what God is to me. But this shit that y'all coming with, it don't make no sense. It's got to make sense. How did we get, there you go right there. How did we get to these multiple gods? How did man deviate? You say Adam and Eve was the first two people, and so everybody got to be connected to Adam and Eve, right? And that's another problem. Watch this. Now you're talking about Adam and Eve, that we all come from Adam and Eve, but then how are we going to explain incest? Adam and Eve was genetically... Well, I mean, if you coming from, you say the way God created them, and they had children, they had Cain and Abel. Who the fuck did Cain and Abel? Man, do y'all really want to do this? Because in order for Cain and Abel, if this biblical story is going to continue, who did Cain and Abel have sex with in order to have a child? Come on now. The Christians need to come out and explain their version of events. You see, it's a reason why Pastor told y'all don't question God. You don't question God. You know, them dumbass people made y'all think that meant you shouldn't ask questions. Questioning God and asking questions is two different things. Questioning God is saying you shouldn't have did that. Why did you? I don't agree with what you did. That's questioning God. Asking a question is something completely different. That's asking a question. That's trying to understand. Same way you ask your daddy a question. Don't you ask your mama a question? Why is it that you can ask your mama and daddy questions for understanding and for knowledge, but if you can't go to God and ask God a question? Huh? Did that make any sense? Yes, ask God questions all the time. See, your own biblical events ain't even adding up for you. It gotta make sense. You can't tell me Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel. Where all these other people came from? So Cain was laying down with his mama. Abel was laying down with his mama. That would create incest. And for any Christian out here that say, I don't know what I'm talking about, well, go have sex. Let your son, go have sex with your son. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Go prove me wrong. Have a baby with your son. Go do that nasty shit. Go ahead. Hey, homie, let me let y'all know something right now. If that's the case, y'all can unsign me up for religion. Unsign me up. Shit. It's got to make sense, man. This Anunnaki information makes sense. The Anunnaki information makes perfect sense. This is the Anunnaki theory, folks. I started off and I gave y'all the scientific theory, showed y'all about evolution, evolutionary science, right? We did that. Gave y'all the biblical theory. We talked about what we just got through talking about, Adam and Eve and God and creating the earth in 6 days. Then we came with the Anunnaki theory. Home run. Makes perfect sense. Gang, I'm here to do real work. I got a real mission. I got a big mission. I got a very heavy mission. It ain't gonna be easy. People gonna talk about me. People gonna call me crazy. People gonna do all kind of shit. But I gotta walk this path. And I can only hope that I'm gonna have the support of my people behind me because I need y'all. That's why I be telling y'all don't understand how valuable y'all are. I've been preparing y'all to go with me on this mission. So when I'm teaching this information, I got the comfortability of knowing that I got some intelligent people around me instead of trying to convince these baby brains. I'm gonna need my people around me backing me up. We finna do the same thing that Yahshua did. We finna destroy the temple. Who with it? We finna destroy the temple. Who with me? I'm coming for all the false prophets. That's my cat. Come on, cat. I'm coming for all the false prophets. Misleading people. Come on, Pink. Let's go. All my goddesses. My goddesses gonna be front line. Nigga, they warriors. They warriors, nigga. I got warrior women, nigga. I got women around me like Xena, nigga, the warrior princess. What you talking about? The goddess is ready. The gods is ready. The kings is ready. They with me. No, we finna shut this thing down, man. Enough is enough, man. Our people need all the help we can get. Our people need the knowledge. Our people need the leadership. We need to know because we suffering. We out here trying to party our pain away. These fucking prophet preachers that took billions of dollars from our community. Guys, we could have built Wakanda. Guys, we could have built Wakanda. Guys, everything that y'all see, let me tell y'all why I'm tired of us blaming the white man. Because the white man ain't just stopped us from doing what we could have did. We stopped us. We let fear stop us. Our people, all that money that we put in church, we should have been putting into building our community, strengthening our community. But we done let the fucking preachers take it all. So now we can't build no education center where I can go and teach this shit to our people, our brothers and sisters, as well as the youth. Because the preachers got all the fucking money. These are things we have to do as a community. This ain't shit that one person should come out of their pocket and do. All of us should be able to come together and say, hey, man, I'm going to put $500, $500, $500, $500, $500. We're going to pile this money up till we got enough to start making these moves. But we done gave this shit away because we trying to get in heaven. Trying to buy our way into heaven. So you think your God, you think the God that you serve in the sky is worrying about your $5, $6 bill. Oh shit. Lord have mercy. We still primitive. We just as primitive as the Adamu. Just as primitive as the Adamu. We only a little bit of removed from him. Just because we wear Beats headphones and we walk around on iPhones, that don't mean we that much more smarter than the Adamu. Still primitive in a lot of ways. But they can say what they want about the old Chief Cutter, man. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do what the Most High asked me to do because God has had my back. I don't care what sacrifice I got to make. I've seen it. God have had my back 1,000,000 times over. So I'm going to walk this path and they can say what they want to about me. A man who is wise unto God will be a fool unto man. So if you want to call me crazy, feel free. Who with me? I'm finna go out and be a revolutionary. Who with me? A real revolutionary, baby. Let's get it. I am a revolutionary. That's how my brother said it. I am a revolutionary. Shout out to our brother Fred Hampton, man. Come on now. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Okay. All right. You son of a bitch. Are you done? Okay. I got this motherfucker done. Ha ha ha. All right, let's go. Okay. Remember, we got a new class coming up, The Great American Lie. If you haven't had a chance to sign on for that course, okay, we're now taking submissions. If you want to be a part of The Great American Lie, the fee admission is $25, a simple $25 payment. If you want to be a part of that course, it's going to be taking place probably the week after Christmas. It's about a 2-week long course, or so it's going to take us right up until the supposed TikTok banning. If you want to join us for that course, like I say, the fee is $25. You can hit us up at the nonprofit $UniMailFam1212. $UniMailFam1212. If you send a payment, listen, G Mitch, make sure you say that it's for the Great Lie class. For Great Lie class, okay? Yeah, just it goes to $, go to P Money. Go to the $UniMailFam1212. All right. Somebody put it up for me. That's the nonprofit address. $UniMailFam1212. There we go. Appreciate you, Ayers. We had a lot of people sign up yesterday. Actually, like half of the class signed up yesterday, which is amazing. So we had a lot of people already signed up, already on board. If you want to jump in that class with us, that's the class where we're going to be teaching about us being in the Americas first, okay? Which is a piggyback. Now y'all can see that there's a piggyback from the Sumerian tablet information. Okay, so let me tell y'all a little bit about the the Great American Lie class. We're gonna be dealing with. Hold on, give me a second. Let me see. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna tell y'all what we're gonna be dealing with. Okay, give me some ones in the chat if you can hear me clearly and you can see me clearly. Give me some ones if you can hear me clearly or you can see me clearly, okay? All right, so like I told y'all, our next course is the Great American Lie, all right? That's some more of that shit you ain't been taught, some of that shit you wasn't gonna be taught, because if you know thine enemy, then you know your enemy is the one who wrote your history, okay? So to know your enemy is to know that your enemy has been hiding your true history to overpower you. You think it's a coincidence that the white man is over us? Y'all think that that's a coincidence? See, that's the problem. Niggas don't even know that they engaged in a war. Because you see war as physical violence. War is mentally strategic as well. Somebody can wage a mental war against you without firing one bullet. Okay? And that's what this man has did. This man not only waged physical war against us, he waged mental war against us, okay? He removed us from our history. He burned our information. He made sure that we could not learn what we need to learn to overpower him. He's overpowering us with our information. How wild is that? Motherfucker overpowering us with our own information. That's getting your ass kicked with your own gun. If you ever want to feel weak, come to a fight with a gun, get beat up, get the gun taken from you, and have somebody, come on now, have somebody take your gun from you and kick your ass. That's what the white man did to us. So when we get into this new course, okay, if y'all want to join the Great American Lie course, this is some of the information we're going to be covering. Here we go. Our true arrival in the Americas. Okay, we're going to be dealing with the Annunaki connection, how the Anunnaki is the ones that brought us over to the Americas. We didn't just get in no boat and travel. The Anunnaki was the global travelers. That's the part of the story everybody missing. The Anunnaki was the global travelers. We accompanied them on their global travel. Okay, and when they came to the Americas, they brought us to the Americas. Okay, they brought these people that y'all call Olmec, Shiamuru. They brought these people to the Americas. We're going to talk all about this. We're going to get into deep detail. Hopefully 2 weeks is enough for me to cover this information. If not, we're going to continue on YouTube. If TikTok gets shut down, don't take TikTok off your phone, guys. Okay, some people are saying that when the TikTok ban go into place, new people can't join to TikTok. That no longer can anybody download it. So don't be so quick to remove it from your phone yet. So we're going to be covering our true arrival in the Americas, the Anunnaki connection, the story of Cain, okay, the father of the Asiatic blacks. You got to tell the story of Cain because you need to understand the differences in the American blacks and African blacks. You need to understand the difference. We are descended, in the Americas, we are descended from the lineage of Cain. And you need to understand what that means and why we different. Okay, we're going to explain all of that. We're going to explain the regions we lived in, why we look different. Well, you know, yeah, they got to go before the Supreme Court. I'm hoping, man, it all work out, G Mitch, but I don't know. It kind of don't look good because what they doing is trying to say that it's a threat to our national security. And so with that, you know how these folks get. You know how these folks. Anytime they feel to say it's a threat to national security, it's a problem. Okay, it's pretty much over with. But we'll see. But then, you know, second option is somebody might buy it. You know what I'm saying? Some of these billionaire hedge fund companies might buy it because TikTok is big business. Let me let y'all know something. There's a bidding war going around right now. Motherfuckers is trying to buy TikTok. I just don't think that the TikTok corporation ByteDance and these people are meeting eye to eye. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit more. So we're going to be covering the true revival in the Americas, the story of Cain, who is the father of the Asiatics. We're going to be discussing who were the Murs/Moors. People need to know that this was the original name, not this. This was a corruption of this, okay? So we're going to be discussing who were the Murs/Moors. Speaking of, remember I told y'all that they was Phoenician, Canaanite sailors? All of this shit that I'm going to be able to show you and prove. This gentleman right here, this guy's name is not Manly P. Hall. I don't know who the fuck put Manly P. Hall on this man's video. This man, his name is Carl, I forgot his last name, Carl something. I can't remember his last name, but this man is not Manly P. Hall. I don't know who did this dumb shit right here. But he talks in this video, he talks about this. He talked about how the Olmecs were black or Aboriginal American/Murs and how their civilization stretched across the Pacific. Okay? So just know, Chief ain't the only one who came to this conclusion. I ain't the only one who came to this conclusion. But when we get into the Great American Lie class, I'm going to be expounding more on that, okay? So we're going to be dealing with who were the Murs/Moors, what was their presence in the Americas, them being the Olmec, Shia, Meru, Mexica. That's where we get the name Mexico from. Mexica. It looked like Mexica. C-A. That's where we get the name Mexico from. It was from the Mexica, which was the Shia Maru. All right. Also, we're going to be dealing with the proof Mayans and Aztec were black. Okay. Trust your eyes. Trust their artistry. Remember I told y'all, always trust your eyes. Trust what they drew. The story of Asian conquest, the birth of the brown Chino. That's the original foundation of the people we call Hispanic or Mexican today. Okay? Let me see what else we got on this list. We're going to be covering the diary reads of Christopher Columbus. We're going to be getting into the Black Nobility War, some of the 100 Years Wars, the War of the Scots. So we're going to be dealing with Black Nobility Wars. We're going to be dealing with the Black Indian Wars. Okay? Because like I keep telling y'all, these Black Indians was kicking these white boys' ass for 200-300 years before the Revolutionary War happened. Okay? We got to talk about all of this. Talk a little bit about the Florida tribes and how they were part of the Caribbean tribes. So all of the Caribbean tribes, Florida was a part of that too. That's how you know, if it was black people in the Caribbean, then you know it was black people in Florida, which means black people was in the fucking Americas. What, the natives trying to say that they are originally from Haiti too? Fuck out of here. Huh? I guess the natives trying to say they are originally from Haiti and they are originally from Jamaica. Man, get the fuck out of here. Y'all done lied. And the lies done caught up with your ass. We were here first. Well, who the fuck was in the Caribbean? And it wasn't y'all. Been telling y'all them Jamaicans and them Haitians are West Indians. They were called West Indians because they look similar to the East Indians. And when Columbus got over here, he called them West Indians because they looked similar to the East Indians. Man, y'all ain't ready for this shit. Mound builder proof. Proof of the mound, who the mound builders were. Straight out the Library of Congress. Oh, we coming with it. Oh, we coming with it. So don't cheat yourself. For all these folks that be sneaking in my goddamn class, for all these folks that be acting like, oh, I don't want to pay nobody for no knowledge. I don't want to pay. Because y'all dumbass think that this information is just in a book, that you just going to buy a book, open it up, and you going to know everything that I know. Wrong. There's a lot of information in these books. Don't mean it's the information that's going to help you understand this shit. Ain't no book got this. This is AT. This is alternative theory. I created it. This is a class that I created. It's called AT. That's when you tell people, hey, I got a degree in AT. What's AT? Alternative theory. It deals with the hidden history of humanity. I got my degree in that. That's what y'all got. Y'all are very intelligent and wise at this point in your life. Okay? You got the juice now.